Alright, let's keep the story of little Angelo and the Brontes rolling. A realm unknown. The sun is setting on a cold, windy day as you return from the prefecture. To your surprise, a messenger awaits you at the door with an urgent letter from Sir Brante. You open the letter. Brante, there's an urgent case that I must entrust to you. We have just received a report of a secret society formed by young nobles. The Archduke's family may be involved. This concerns me. I suspect a possible plot to dispose Overseer Tempest. Normally, the Secret Chancellery handles all such cases, but I'd rather investigate the rumors of the plot before there is any action. Preventing unnecessary bloodshed and disgrace would be prudent. You are to investigate this matter as soon as possible. The gendarmes tracked down a suspicious nobleman by the name of Alexis L. Lance. Based on his confession, a meeting of this society will be held tonight. Unfortunately, this is all we were able to learn from him. The L. Lance family is of too high standing for more thorough questioning. Fortunately, all members of the secret society wear masks when attending meetings. We have acquired L. Lance's personal mask, and will ensure that he is late to the meeting. You should be able to impersonate him quite easily. You are to attend the meeting tonight and learn as much as possible about the secret society. This will allow us to foil a dangerous plot, or save many young people from the secret chancellery. The letter includes a delicate gilded mask of an intricate workmanship. Fortunately, it fits your face perfectly. It seems your plans for tonight have changed. Yes, it does seem, doesn't it? Seems. Following the prefect's instructions, you come to an appointed hour to an inconspicuous mansion on the edge of Anazote, with a spacious yard and tall fence around it. The gatekeepers bow and open the gate as soon as they see you. It seems the mask is enough to convince them you belong inside. Inside the yard, you see noble carriages, many more than you had expected. You are ushered into a dressing room of sorts. A change of clothes already awaits you inside. It is a curious garb, a square of flowing, sparkling cloth with clasps and cords to keep it from unwrapping. You have never seen anything like it. With this strange robe and the gilded mask over your normal clothes and face, you cannot help but feel rather silly. This attire feels positively unsuitable for any kind of plotting or scheming. Next, you proceed to a large room. The windows are covered in black cloth to keep prying eyes away, but you forget about it moments later. What seems to be a strange performance is playing out before your very eyes. You hear droning, unfamiliar music coming seemingly from nowhere. You see candlelit dancing and glimmering. Ribbons of gold and silver are hung along the walls as decorations. And there are people, many people, like you. They are dressed in flowing robes and delicate gilded masks with narrow slits for eyes. The people are talking. They stand unexpectedly close to one another, their hands on each other's shoulders. You approach one of the groups, hoping to overhear the subject of their conversation, but you almost recoil when several arms reach out to you at once, attempting to grasp you tenderly by the shoulder. Steeling yourself, you put a hand on another person's forearm. The masked people seem friendly and genial. No one appears surprised by your insecurity. And their conversations are also quite out of the ordinary. You hear unfamiliar names that could belong to legendary heroes of old, or to the people who have taken them as secret identities. You hear mentions of books you do not know, and emotions they felt while reading them. Their conversations feel like a strange dream. You hear several voices singing in a far-off corner of the room. There are no lyrics to the song. Each voice maintains its own note. Together, these voices form a tender, softly aching melody. It feels enrapturing. It spirits you away. You feel so distant now from the purpose of your visit, so withdrawn from the judge's trade, so far away from the empire and from your very self. A hand touches your shoulder, bringing you back to your senses. A pair of familiar eyes looks at you intently from behind a glinting greenish-silver mask. They belong to Octavia. You pull back and bow to the Archduke's daughter. I believe I recognize the man behind this mask. I never expected to see you here today, my extraordinary human. But I must behave here. You'd best do the same. We are not alone. It would be best if we are not seen too close to one another. As for this place, Sir Brante, allow me to explain. This is the circle of La Tari. And before you ask, no, we do not plot, nor do we scheme. We have removed ourselves as far as possible from such machinations. This place is a little world of our own, a brief respite from tradition and noble customs and other such fuss. Our gathering is but a pretense, a game of make-believe. We pretend we are neither nobles nor citizens of the Blessed Empire, nor humans nor Archnians, but the Latari. Do you know what this word means? I would not be surprised if you have never heard of the Latari. These days, the people of Latari are mentioned only in rare historical works. Long before us, in an age when this land was fertile and green, the Latari lived upon the land that would become Margra. They were masters of remarkable art. They could create worlds from nothing but their conscious minds. Ah, me too, in my imagination. Many of these people come here for simple entertainment and a brief taste of freedom. Others seek a respite from the binding customs of the noble lot. Still, others feel encumbered by their blood tides and ancestral obligations. Only here are we fully free from the burden of our past and our present. Yet some among us seek more than the brief moments of freedom. They are drawn here by a fascination with the Latari, and their idea that our entire existence can be shaped by the mind alone. We strive to know the Latari people for ourselves. We strive to continue their teachings. We strive to become them. If we happen to master the art of shaping worlds from our own minds, we may yet break free of this trap that is this harsh existence. Sounds like lucid dreaming, doesn't it? Surprised by this, you ask her why she is telling you this so openly. She knows that the ritual of extinct races are held in the same regard as magic, and punishable as such. In response to your question, Octavia suddenly takes off her golden mask, and reveals a slight smile on her once hidden face. May your voice never speak words of deceit. To great shame lies the path of untruth. Where an Archnian lies, where a human denies, the Latari speaks truthfully, forsooth. I'm not afraid. The truth of the Latari matters more to me than any persecution. You came here in secret and wearing a mask, which means the prefecture has taken an interest in my little gatherings. But I am confident you will describe this as an innocent club of young nobles and keep our fragile world from prying eyes and ears. Would you do this for me, Angelo Brante? These words spoken by Octavia sound more like an assertion than a question. But you are in no hurry to respond. Your thoughts are tangled, lost among the echoing voices, fluid motions, and transcendent music. This gathering is in violation of the law. This you cannot deny. All rituals of extinct races were banned by the foundation of the Empire. You may summon the gendarmes here at any moment. You only need to give a sign to the driver. And when they get here, the circle of Latari will be gone in an instant. You will prove to the city that not even the most noble of denizens are above the law. But Octavia will never forgive you. You could, on the other hand, keep the circle of Latari a secret from Melbourne and report this meeting as a harmless gathering of young nobles looking for an opportunity to socialize. But if the secret chancellery ever takes interest in these meetings, you will be powerless. Someone has already reported Octavia's circle to the prefecture. There's a very good chance these reports will continue. Perhaps if you tell Octavia of the danger she is facing, she will disband the circle herself. There is one more way you could resolve this predicament. With a piece of paper, some ink, and a bit of skill, the Circle of Latari could become a noble historical society, one of many dozens in Anazote alone. Legitimized by the city, Octavia's gatherings would remain a secret within the mansion. But do you have enough influence to make this possible? And would it be wise to expend it in this way? Say something, Angelo. This is no time to be quiet. The great mystery of Latari is about to begin. Okay, so we can keep their secret. We can ban them. Convince Octavia to disband the circle. Or we can legitimize the circle. Well, this seems like a lot of good options, I must say. This looks like a really good choice. So, I think I'm going to pick this. You find a way to help the Circle of Latari continue to exist as a historical society. You chuckle, shaking your head. How quaint. A group of nobles, hiding from sight, wearing masks, studying a culture of a long-dead race. Has Lady Octavia never considered taking her historical studies a bit more seriously? Octavia's eyes narrow, trying to discern the meaning behind your words. There's a way to make the meetings of the circle fully legitimate, you continue. You have enough influence to get the papers they need and have them signed by the right people. Octavia's face lights up. She continues her half-finished thoughts right away. Indeed, my Sir Brante. Welcome to a meeting of our Imperial Historical Society. Surely you would be so kind as to procure us a proper plaque for the door. You nod. With a genial smile, Octavia extends her hand to you. You take it and kiss it gently. If only we were alone so I could show you the full extent of my gratitude. But the great mystery of the night is about to begin. You should leave us. You'll bring danger upon the circle if you're seen coming here again. You'd best get those papers prepared right away, kind Angelo. The members of the circle are already gathering in the middle of the room, ready to begin their mysterious ritual. You feel dozens of eyes on you from behind the gilded masks. They will not begin until you leave the circle. Following Lady Octavia's suggestion, you change into your normal clothes and leave the mansion. The next day, you report to Elborn and put his concerns to rest. There was no sign whatsoever of any noble plot. The group is nothing but a historical society run by several young nobles who meet to discuss the cultures of old. They simply lack legitimacy, but you can rectify that. This sounds suspicious, Brante. And the Archduke's daughter is involved. I hope you know what you're doing. Either way, I'm glad we didn't sick the gendarmes on them. I hope the secret chancellery and Sir Elfaro never learn of those reports. I doubt the advisor will be as tolerant of their youthful amusements. You assure the prefect that Lady Octavia's Historical Society will have all the permits they need to operate without arousing suspicion. And so the Anazote Historical Society for the Study of Ancient Peoples is founded. The City Hall wastes no time approving the necessary paperwork. Every official there knows that Judge Brante is a respectable gentleman with friends in high places. And your busy patrons pay no heed to the follies of young nobles. Octavia sends you her reward in the form of a letter. When you open the envelope to read it, a gilded key clinks onto the floor. Angelo, I am impressed by your abilities. You know how to use your connections and bring me joy. It pleases me to know that I was right about you. A chest matching this key will be delivered to your estate tonight. Farewell, Angelo. It will be some time before we meet again. I have much to do on my own. You cannot help but think of Octavia and those who followed her. They have dared to reject their nature, lot, and birth in an attempt to become something else entirely. But do they have what it takes to cast off the shackles of their existence? Or are they nothing but madmen who yearn for the impossible? As for Octavia and her circle of Latari, you hear nothing of them for a long time. After that night, the Archduke's daughter seems to vanish from the social circles of Anazote. She has never been one to tell you about her plans. Your encounters with her have ended as abruptly as they have begun. Interesting. Well, seems okay. We are 25 now. Getting up there. Getting old. That's as old as I am in real life, actually. 1134. The Last Straw. Rumors are running wild in Anazote. People say that a mysterious clandestine society called the Last Straw holds the entirety of the city's seedy underbelly in its clutches. With men and safe houses all over Anazote, plotting and scheming against the nobles and the rulers of the province. Their leader is a woman, a ruthless criminal by the name of Sophia. Oh. She has evaded all attempts at capture. Yes, I know Sophia. The common people both fear the Last Straw and sympathize with their cause. If the rumors are true, the city finally has someone who will stop at nothing to help the people claim their rights. But who would support this secret organization? And how did the insurgents manage to survive this long? No one in the city knows the answers. Magistrate El Vermin must assuage the people's fears once again. The vile mutineers and heretics who call themselves the Last Straw will be caught and executed very soon, and anyone who has given them money and shelter will meet the same fate. The secret chancellery will make sure of that. But even facing a manhunt, the Last Straw still endures. Slowly but surely, the influence of the underground organization is spreading throughout the city. Well then. Order down. Power up. Wealth is down to 1. Misery and devastation for all. Threats and promises. You are in the middle of an ascending the city hall's long, curved marble staircase. A small man beneath the building's towering vault. You were suddenly visited by that night by the messengers from Magistrate El Vermin. They insisted the reason was most urgent. You were already expected upstairs. There's a deafening silence in the lavishly decorated corridors. Your footsteps, the only noise you can hear. Finally, you enter the spacious room that is the office of El Vermin, a stately official of considerable age. You find him sitting in his comfortable chair of carved wood. He acknowledges your presence with a nod. However, the magistrate is not alone. By the window of the office stands a tall Archnean. The cape of the Imperial Legion covers his shoulders. He is Dorius Otten, the commander of Magra, in the flesh. He does not even bother to turn around and look at you. The magistrate gestures you to formally beckons to you formally, beckoning you closer. Judge Brante, you have come at last. Sir Otten has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. You see, the commander has learned about a litigation being prepared against him at the prefecture. He demanded that an end be put to these machinations at once, and I humbly offered him my assistance. Slowly, Otten turns to face you. He eyes you with cold contempt. Brante, you again. So, you've been chosen to oversee the so-called case against me? I don't envy you. I will be brief. I will not stand idly by in the face of slander and baseless accusations. Give me your word of honor as a nobleman that you will do everything in your power to put a stop to this litigation. Only then will you be free to leave. I will treat any other answer as an insult against my noble lineage. And let it be known that Sir El Vermin holds many positions, such as the chairman's seat of the Court of Honor, which means that any insult will be soon followed by a legitimate duel of honor. I'm sure you know full well how others have fared in duels against me. Otten turns towards the window before you say anything, as if your answer has already been heard. Magistrate El Vermin watches Otten and you silently with a mysterious smirk. You stand before the two lords of the city, a young man only recently ennobled by the mantle. Any word that leaves your lips now will affect your fate. So, we cannot seek out Sir Vermin for protection. That's okay, El Vermin seems like a weasel. We can give our word to Otten. We can retaliate. Or we can put Otten at ease. Boy, that reputation seems really good. We haven't died yet. It would be nice to get Valor up too. We just barely had enough Valor to have this option. I am interested in getting our family ennobled by the sword, so why don't we try and get our reputation up? You stand your ground against the Archnean's threat and force him to back down. If Aten challenges you to a duel, a lesser death is certain. Any attempt to avoid it would only delay the inevitable. So it would be best to confront him now. And so, head held high, you place your hand on the hilt of your sword and take a step closer to Aten. Next come the words, your words, echoing loudly in the stunned silence of the city hall. Indeed, you are a judge in charge of Aten's case, and you will see it through to the very end. Your duty and your honor demand that you serve the Empire and enforce its laws, which apply to all its subjects. Yes, Aten will surely defeat you in a sacred duel, but the evidence you have gathered against him will see the light nevertheless. You are far from the only judge ready to challenge even the most powerful nobles of the province in the name of the law. And, no matter what, justice will find Aten and strike him down. Aten is stunned by your verbal assault. For a moment he remains motionless by the window, his face an azure mask. Slowly, the commander of Magra walks towards you, his heavy piercing gaze transfixing you. You, a human, dare to threaten me? You calmly meet his eyes in total silence. Then, suddenly, a grimace of rage splits on the Archnean's face. His sword flashes like lightning. You barely have time to draw your own blade. The clanging of swords cuts through the stunned silence of the city hall. Aten lets out a torrent of strikes in an attempt to overwhelm you. Again and again you barely deflect them. The Archnean's command of the blade is impeccable. You cannot possibly stand your ground against him for long. You cannot find even a single opening to strike back as Aten's fierce assault drives you towards the window. A commanding voice calls out from the other side of the office. Sir Aten, what do you think you're doing? For a moment, Aten stops. This is your chance. You prepare to strike him down as quickly as you can. But the commander of Magra notices your movement. He steps to the side and runs you through with his sword. A cold wave flashes over you as the steel enters your body. You slowly collapse onto the marble floor, barely able to move. Aten stands tall over you, panting with rage. Sir Aten, what have you done? This is no honorable noble duel. It is a murder in the heart of the city hall, in front of the chairman of the city in the court of honor, no less. I insist that you leave Brante alone from now on. One death is enough for him. Having caught his breath, Aten slowly wipes his sword and sheaths it again. You forget yourself, O vermin. You are as much a human as he. Still, what you say makes sense. This judge doesn't deserve my wrath. But if he ever tries to tarnish the name of Aten again... You lie prone on the feet of your murderer, your hands clutching at the wound in your chest. Tiny speck of red on your white dress shirt. Black clouds your vision. Your final thoughts freeze and slowly disintegrates as you leave your dead body and head for the glimmering white high above. Well, good thing this is a game. First death. You fall into a pain that embraces you like a soft feather bed. You feel light, free. There are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelops you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you. Their touch is soft. They delicately enshroud what was once your body. It is a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before. Something absolute and complete. You touch something greater. The reason behind everything. The reason for your very existence. You were sculpted by this light. It was the first thing you ever felt. A boundless and sincere unity of the diverse. Your beginning was a spark that cast the light in all directions. And now you are here again. One with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming with you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it, in the north, as always. The waves of light carry you to two figures. The eldest is nearest. He is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits further back. You do not know what he is yet. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-like kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You are filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. They know this, and they love you. You will never be alone. You are part of them, a part of your family, a part of this universe. The twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread out amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float on, to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer you get to the silver tree, the heavier you become. The waves draw you down along its trunk, but you do not wish to part with the warmth and the softness with the love. You turn around. The elder is still watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go. Your time has not yet come. You must return to the world now. As you tumble towards your body, you comprehend the true meaning of the lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists not only in the hereafter, it is present in the entire design of the twins that is the origin of all life in this world. What is the manifestation of the love in your mortal life? Empire. Lot. Family. Cause. Yourself. Or you can remain silent. What is love without family? Love always lives in kindred blood. You share the miracle of life and the universe with your kin. Your family is what you are given upon being born and what you leave behind when you depart. A sudden comprehension of the love with which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind, but then it fades away and vanishes. You regain the sensation of your flesh. It is heavy and unwieldy. It lacks that lightness, that light. It is a burden. It is smothering you. You gasp for air. Your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odor of the crypt fills them, revolting but real, but so real. You are back. Okay, you just respawn, just like anyone else, right? You come to your senses atop the stone slab of your family crypt. For a while, you do not move, slowly getting acquainted with the body born anew. Your mother's somber silhouette stands above you, bowed in prayer. You hear her quiet, meek voice, just as you did as a child. At last, you're back with us. Angelo, my son. It pains so much to watch you sacrifice yourself so, all for the sake of your trade and your honor. You have 4 lives in this world by the twins' grace, each a precious gift. You've cast away the lowly lot of suffering, so I beg you, do not seek it anew. Steer clear of pain and wounds and death. Your father appears in the doorway of the crypt. He comes closer and bows to you respectfully. Son, the entire city is talking about you and your sword fight with Aten. Even the highest aristocracy believes the Commander Margaret deserves all the blame for assaulting you without challenging you to a duel. While you acted like a true nobleman and defended the honor of the Brante name, you suffered a lesser death through no fault of your own. You leave the family crypt with a heavy heart. You have resisted Aten. He will not be clashing with you directly anytime soon, but his sword will continue to loom over you until his case comes to an end. Okay, Valor up. So there is our first death. Hopefully that was a wise choice. Alright, I don't think I will read anymore, but I will take a look at all these just once over. So we're sitting pretty middling. We haven't made much headway in either of these. The province is in a struggle for power. The church is in a schism. The wealth is extremely low. And the order is rather discontent. Although it's not bad. Not nearly as bad as the wealth. Ooh, look at the faces. I'll click on the map, but I don't think anything has changed. Just one continent. Our relations. There's Thomas. Our enemy, Dorius Otten. These two really haven't played much part. Oh, we have a lot of relations now. Fuck Graben. The family. Nothing much has changed here, except our portrait. Seems we've gone short hair, we've lost our ponytail. And here's our personality. So stats are moving up. Slowly but surely. 9 on reputation, 10 on harmony, moderate wealth. Stephen is the heir, though. But, so be it, right? Alright, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. I love you. Not really. More to come.